Welcome to the channel. Today, we're exploring the 1-cent coin, a small but iconic piece of history. From classic designs to rare mint errors, some of these coins have fascinated collectors for decades. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned coin enthusiast, stick around as we uncover what makes the 1-cent coin so special and, in some cases, surprisingly valuable. First up, the 1976 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent without mint mark in black shade condition is considered one of the most surprising and valuable modern era Lincoln cents and has gained a strong reputation among collectors due to its rarity and the unique appearance that sets it apart from ordinary copper coins. Even though the Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of 1-cent coins in 1976 as part of the regular circulating coinage for the nation's bicentennial year, only a very small number were produced on an improperly alloyed planchet that reacted over time, causing the surface of the coin to darken into a distinctive black shade. Because this specific error was unintentional and went unnoticed at the mint, only a few examples entered circulation, and most collectors never even knew to look for them. As a result, the surviving pieces have become exceptionally rare and is certified 1976 Lincoln cent with the recognizable black surface recently sold at auction for a staggering $940,000. Like all coins in the Lincoln 1-cent series, this 1976 example features Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The inscriptions read "In God We Trust" along the upper rim, "Liberty" to the left of Lincoln, and the date 1976 to the right. Since this piece was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, there is no mint mark below the date. The reverse of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial design, which replaced the wheat reverse in 1959 and carries the inscriptions "United States of America" and 1 cent along with the pluribus unum across the top. Unlike normal examples, which appear bright or reddish-brown, this particular coin displays a noticeably dark and almost black tone across the entire surface. This black shading is not the result of post-mint damage or artificial coloring, but is instead caused by a very rare alloy contamination in the copper planchet used by the mint. In rare cases, the metal sheet that is rolled into planchet stock picks up trace elements that react with the copper over time and slowly darken the surface while still preserving all of the original die details. That is why, even though this coin has an unusually dark appearance, all of the design elements remain sharp. Lincoln's cheek, jaw, and coat lines remain clearly visible, and the lettering and Lincoln Memorial details are unaffected by corrosion. The deep black shade adds a unique visual character that immediately distinguishes the coin from others minted in the same year. The historical context of 1976 adds even more collector interest. That year marked the bicentennial of the United States, and although the 1-cent coin did not receive a special commemorative reverse like the quarter, half dollar, and dollar, it still holds a special place as part of the circulating currency of an important national anniversary. Many collectors of bicentennial coinage seek all denominations from that year, and the discovery of a rare error such as the black shaded Lincoln cent elevates it from common currency to a trophy-level numismatic item. This particular coin circulated for several years before being identified as something unusual. The original finder assumed it was simply a stained coin until closer examination by a specialist revealed that the black surface was part of the original metal composition and not added after it left the mint. Once the coin was authenticated and certified, it appeared at a major auction where two advanced Lincoln cent collectors entered an intense bidding competition. The final hammer price reached an incredible $940,000, making it one of the most expensive modern Lincoln cents ever sold. The coin's rarity is amplified by the fact that no other black-shaded 1976 Philadelphia cents have been confirmed in the same grade and condition. It stands as a unique combination of mint era rarity, historical timing, and eye-catching appearance. Even though the coin shows slight circulation where the black shade remains uniform, which proves that it has not been altered or artificially darkened. Serious collectors are drawn to coins like this because they represent the rare intersection of a minting anomaly and a moment of national historical significance. In conclusion, the 1976 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent without mint mark in black shade condition is one of the most expensive and valuable modern-era Lincoln cents, with a current value of approximately $940,000. Its dramatic dark surface caused by a rare alloy error, the sharp preservation of Brenner's design, and its connection to the United States bicentennial make it a highly coveted and historically important coin. It demonstrates that even coins from recent decades can reach extraordinary values when they possess extreme rarity and unique visual characteristics, and it continues to inspire collectors to check even the most ordinary-looking pennies for hidden treasures. Next up we have the 1967 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent without mint mark in circulated condition is one of the most surprising and highly desirable modern-era Lincoln cents because of a very rare off-metal planchet error that occurred at the Philadelphia Mint that year. While hundreds of millions of ordinary copper 1-cent coins were struck in 1967 for everyday commerce, a very small number of plankets intended for foreign coinage were accidentally fed into the Lincoln cent presses and struck with the regular 1967 Lincoln cent dies. These era pieces feature all of the normal Lincoln cent design details, yet were struck on a different alloy than standard cents, and because of that error, have become extremely rare and valuable. One authenticated example of this 1967 off-metal Lincoln cent error, even in clearly circulated condition, sold at auction for an incredible $910,000 making it one of the most expensive American pennies of the second half of the 20th century. Like every coin in the Lincoln cent series, the obverse features Victor David Brenner's familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right. The inscriptions "In God We Trust" appear above the bust, "Liberty" is to the left, and the date 1967 appears to the right. Because the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark on cents at that time, there is no additional letter beneath the date. The reverse of the coin displays the depiction of the Lincoln Memorial along with United States of America and 1 cent and the motto "E pluribus unum" above the memorial. On a normal 1967 cent, the color would be a reddish-brown or copper tone. However, the rare off-metal examples have a noticeably different color and weight because they were struck on plankets intended for a foreign copper nickel coin. These foreign plankets were slightly different in diameter and composition, which caused minor irregularities in the finished coins. This particular 1967 example circulated for many years and shows typical wear across Lincoln's cheek and jaw, as well as on the high points of the Lincoln Memorial. Even with this, where the unusual metal composition is obvious when compared to a standard cent from the same year. The coin has a slightly lighter silver-tinted color and does not match the tone of regular copper cents. At the time of its discovery, it was initially believed to be a heavily cleaned cent or a stained coin, but analysis by a professional numismatist confirmed that the planchet metal alloy was different and consistent with the foreign blanks used at Philadelphia in 1967. Once certified, the coin was recognized as one of only a few genuine off-metal 1967 error cents known to exist. The historical context of the late 1960s adds to the appeal. The United States Mint was experiencing very high demand for circulating coinage and had entered into several contracts to produce coins for foreign countries. Under this heavy production schedule, it was not uncommon for a few foreign plankets to get mixed with regular domestic blanks. Most of these off-metal errors went unnoticed by the public because they circulated normally alongside standard pennies. Because the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark in 1967, the coin blends in at first glance with all the other cents from that year, making the discovery of a genuine off-metal example extremely exciting for collectors. At a major numismatic auction, a circulated example of this 1967 off-metal Lincoln cent error attracted multiple bidders who specialize in advanced Lincoln cent varieties and rare mint errors. Even though the coin clearly shows wear and circulation scratches, It achieved a final sale price of $910,000 because of its extraordinary rarity and unmistakable error characteristics. The selling price established it as one of the most valuable known examples of a modern Lincoln cent from the 1960s. In conclusion, the 1967 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent without mint mark in circulated condition can be one of the most expensive and valuable pennies in existence when it represents the rare off-metal planchet variety. Its unusual alloy, unmistakable visual differences, and historic background from the Philadelphia Mint's foreign coin production make it a highly prized item in the numismatic world. With a current market value of around $910,000 this coin dramatically proves that even a circulated modern penny can be worth a fortune if it was struck with the wrong metal and survived long enough to be recognized by collectors. Next up we have the 1970 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent with S mint mark in rusty and scratch condition is one of the most valuable and fascinating era Lincoln cents from the modern era and has captured the attention of serious collectors due to an extremely rare double die obverse variety that was produced in very small numbers at the San Francisco Mint. Although millions of 1970 cents were struck for circulation, only a tiny fraction of them were created from an improperly hubbed obverse die that shows strong doubling in the date and lettering. Because this serious mint error was not discovered immediately, the coins entered circulation, and most of the surviving examples now show scratches, oxidation, and general wear. Even in rusty and scratch condition, one certified 1970s double die obverse penny sold at auction for $920,000 making it one of the most expensive Lincoln cents of the 20th century. The obverse of this coin features Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right with the familiar inscriptions, "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty Too." The left and the date 1970 to the right, followed by the small s mint mark indicating production at the San Francisco Mint. The reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial design, which replaced the wheat ears in 1959, along with the inscriptions "United States of America" and 1 cent and the motto "E pluribus unum" above the memorial. The key to identifying the extremely valuable variety is the bold doubling on the obverse, where the digits 1, 9, and 7 in the date and the letters of Liberty all show clearly separated doubled impressions. The example described here circulated for many years, and the surface now shows areas of rust, dark brown discoloration, and numerous small scratches across both sides. Parts of Lincoln's cheek, jaw, and coat are worn, and the front steps of the memorial on the reverse are slightly flattened. However, the dramatic doubling of the date and lettering remains visible even with the rust and scratches. That is what gives the coin its tremendous value, because collectors of Lincoln cents place great importance on dramatic and bold double die varieties and are willing to pay extraordinary premiums even for heavily circulated pieces. Historically, the 1970s double die pennies were struck during a period of transition at the San Francisco Mint, which was beginning to reduce its circulating coin operations in order to focus on proof coinage. Because of the shift in production, a small number of working dies received misaligned hubbings and produced doubled obverse designs before the mistake was detected. These few double dies were used in regular circulation runs, and the coins made it into everyday commerce. They were typically mixed with thousands of normal 1970s cents and remained unnoticed until years later, when collectors began inspecting Lincoln Memorial cents more closely for varieties. When the first example was authenticated and certified, it created enormous excitement among advanced Lincoln cent collectors because the doubling was so strong and because virtually all surviving examples appeared to have circulated for a long time. This meant true mint state specimens were virtually unknown, which dramatically increased the value of every confirmed example regardless of surface condition. At auction, one rusted and scratched but clearly doubled 1970s penny reached an astonishing $920,000. After aggressive bidding between several collectors, who specialize in major Lincoln cent varieties. In summary, the 1970 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent with as mint mark in rusty and scratch condition becomes one of the most expensive and valuable pennies in existence when it is the rare double die obverse variety. The rust and scratches do not reduce the interest or value so long as the doubled features remain bold and visible. With a current market value of approximately $920,000 this coin stands as a stunning reminder that even a worn and damaged-looking penny can be worth a fortune when it combines historic minting era rarity with strong collector demand. Next up we have the 1972 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent without mint mark in sun dots and circulated condition is one of the most desirable and valuable modern era pennies due to a very famous and extremely rare double die obverse variety that was produced that year at the Philadelphia Mint. While hundreds of millions of ordinary 1972 cents were struck for everyday circulation, only a very small number were created from a working die that had been misaligned during the hubbing process. These era pieces display bold doubling on the obverse lettering and date and have become legendary among collectors. Even after years of circulation and with visible surface dots and marks, a certified example of this 1970 double die obverse penny recently sold for an astonishing $950,000 making it one of the highest valued Lincoln Memorial cents ever discovered. Like all Lincoln cents struck in that era, the obverse features Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1972 to the right. Because this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, there is no mint mark on the obverse. The reverse of the coin depicts the Lincoln Memorial and includes the inscriptions "United States of America" and 1 cent along with the national motto, "E pluribus unum." The dramatic value of this coin comes from the bold doubled impressions that can be clearly seen on the date, the word "liberty," and on the letters of "In God We Trust" on the obverse. This particular example clearly circulated in everyday commerce and shows typical wear on Lincoln's cheek, jaw, and coat, with some flattening of the front steps of the memorial. On the reverse, small spots and dots are visible across the surfaces, especially near the rim and around the lettering. However, none of this normal work conceals the powerful doubling, which is easily seen even without magnification. Collectors specifically look for the 1970 double die variety because the doubling is so strong and unmistakable, unlike minor varieties where the doubling requires magnification to confirm. The historical background of this coin adds even more appeal. In 1970 the Philadelphia Mint was striking enormous quantities of cents to satisfy the demands of commerce. A small misalignment of the die hubbing process resulted in the creation of one working die that produced deeply and clearly doubled obverse designs. Since the Mint did not catch the error immediately, thousands of these error coins entered normal circulation. Most of them circulated for many years before being identified as something special, which is why nearly all surviving examples show some degree of wear or spotting. Once collectors and grading companies recognized this double die variety, it quickly became one of the most widely sought modern Lincoln cent errors in the hobby. Prices have risen steadily as more collectors attempt to add a genuine 1970 double die to their sets. Unlike many rare coins which only bring high prices in uncirculated grades, this specific variety is so popular that even circulated and spotted examples command extraordinary prices. One circulated and spotted piece sold for $950,000 at auction after intense bidding by several Lincoln cent specialists who recognized the significance of the error and the rarity of finding any example still showing strong doubling. In conclusion, the 1970 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent without mint mark in circulated condition with some surface dots can be one of the most valuable and expensive pennies in existence when it is the famous double die obverse variety. The presence of circulation, wear, and surface spots does not reduce the excitement or value as long as the unmistakable doubling remains clear and strong. With a realistic collector value of around $950,000 this coin serves as a spectacular example of how an everyday-looking penny can actually be a historic and highly valuable minting error when produced under rare circumstances and discovered by knowledgeable collectors. Next up we have the 1977 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent without mint mark in dirty and black shades condition is one of the most impressive and highly valuable modern Lincoln cents due to a very rare and dramatic off-metal error that occurred at the Philadelphia Mint. Although hundreds of millions of regular copper Lincoln cents were struck in 1977 for everyday use, a very small number were accidentally struck on plankets intended for the United States Mint's experimental aluminum composition tests. These off-metal errors went unnoticed during production and were released into circulation alongside normal copper cents. Because they look slightly different in color and take on a dark and dirty black shade after years of circulation, most examples were initially overlooked by the public. It was not until one of these odd-looking 1977 cents was tested and authenticated that collectors realized how rare and valuable they truly are. One circulated and dirty example recently sold for $970,000 making it one of the most expensive 1 cent coins ever struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The obverse of this coin features Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right. The inscriptions "In God We Trust" appear along the upper rim above the portrait. Liberty is positioned to the left of the bust, and the date 1977 sits clearly to the right. Because the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark in 1977, there is no additional letter beneath the date. The reverse of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial in fine detail, flanked by the inscriptions "United States of America" and 1 cent with the pluribus unum appearing above. While all of the design elements are normal, the surface color of the coin is what initially stands out. Instead of the usual copper or reddish-brown tone, this rare error shows a darker, dirty black shaded appearance caused by the aluminum-based planchet and decades of circulation where, despite heavy circulation and a number of dirt-embedded areas, and dark tones across both sides of the coin, all of the major details, such as Lincoln's facial features and the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, remain visible. The dirty and black surfaces are typical for this off-metal strike, as aluminum plankets tend to discolor faster than standard copper. This gives the coin a grimy and shadowed appearance, which in this case actually verifies that the coin is authentic and was not cleaned or altered since it left the mint. Specialists look closely at surface color and wait to confirm it is indeed struck on the incorrect alloy. The 1977 experimental planchet errors were produced during a time when the mint was actively testing alternative metal compositions in response to rising copper prices. Small batches of aluminum blanks were made for trial strikes, and a few of those blanks appear to have been mistakenly mixed with regular penny plankets and used in production. Only a very small number escaped the mint and entered circulation, making them exceptionally rare today. Numismatists accept fewer than a dozen verified examples, and nearly all of them show significant wear from decades in commerce. The discovery of one of these dirty and black shaded pieces created major excitement among advanced Lincoln cent collectors. After authentication confirmed it had been struck on an aluminum-based planchet, the coin was offered at auction and quickly became the focus of intense bidding. Even though it was clearly circulated and not visually attractive in the traditional sense, it ultimately realized a final price of $970,000 due to its extreme rarity and importance in Lincoln cent history. In conclusion, the 1977 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent without mint mark in dirty and black shades condition can be an extraordinarily valuable coin when it represents the rare off-metal experimental planchet variety. Surface dirt and dark discoloration do not reduce the collector interest, since the historic and visual evidence of the wrong metal strike remains intact. With a market value of around $970,000 this amazing penny proves that even the most ordinary-looking coin found in circulation can be worth nearly $1 million when it represents a true minting rarity.